Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Tuesday. We got 15 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it here. Busy slate today, starting with the Baltimore Orioles versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies opening up as home favorites at -120. Baltimore plus 110 with the over-under at 9.5. Baltimore coming into this matchup 62-38. The Phillies 53-47. Pitching for the Orioles is Kyle Gibson with an ERA of 4.76. Pitching for the Phillies is Taijuan Walker with an ERA of 4.11. Gibson, his last start, he pitched 6 innings. Gave up 3 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Walker, his last start, he pitched 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Baltimore on a 3-game winning streak, beating Philly yesterday 3-2. Nice underdog win for Baltimore. They're 5-2 against Philly, 9-1 on the road. They're playing well right now. Still getting underdog value again today, and I think they're a good underdog again here, and I'll take Baltimore plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Los Angeles Angels versus the Detroit Tigers. Detroit opening up as home favorites at -125. LA plus 105 with the over-under at 8.5. Angels coming into this matchup 51-49. Detroit 46-54. Pitching for the Angels is Griffin Canning with an ERA of 4.52. Pitching for the Tigers is Eduardo Rodriguez with an ERA of 2.69. Canning, his last start, he pitched 5 innings. Gave up 2 runs, had 12 strikeouts. Rodriguez, his last start, he pitched 7 innings. Gave up 2 runs, had 7 strikeouts. The Angels, coming off a Pirates win. Detroit coming off a Giants win. They're on a 2-game winning streak right now. Angels 9-4 against Detroit. So they've been very good head-to-head against Detroit here. Pretty even pitching matchup. Both pitchers giving up, good bit of runs here, and I think Angels are a good underdog here on the road, and I'll take Angels plus 1.5. Next matchup, we got the Miami Marlins versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays opening up as home favorites at -200. Miami plus 165 with the over-under at 7.5. Marlins coming into this matchup 54-47. The Rays 61-42. Pitching for the Marlins is Edward Cabrera with an ERA of 4.50. Pitching for the Rays is Tyler Glasnow with an ERA of 3.62. Cabrera, his last start, he pitched 5 innings. Gave up 1 run, had 6 strikeouts. Glasnow, his last start, he pitched 7 innings. Gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Miami, coming off a Colorado win, snapping their huge losing streak that they were on. Tampa Bay coming off back-to-back losses against Baltimore. They have not played well right now. Miami 0-7 against Tampa Bay. 0-6 on the road against Tampa Bay, where they really have struggled. Glasnow been very good on the mound for Tampa Bay here, and Miami just really hasn't been able to beat Tampa on the road, and I think Tampa can get things rolling again against Miami. I'm gonna take the Rays at home in this one. Next matchup, we got the Colorado Rockies versus the Washington Nationals. Washington opening up as home favorites at -130. Colorado plus 120 with the over-under at 9. The Rockies coming into this matchup 40-60. Washington 41-59. Pitching for the Rockies is Austin Gomber with an ERA of 6.18. Pitching for the Nationals is Trevor Williams with an ERA of 4.38. Gomber, his last start, he pitched 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Williams, his last start, he pitched 5 innings. Gave up 2 runs, had 1 strikeout. Colorado coming off a Washington win yesterday, a nice 10-6 win, a good underdog win as well here. And pretty even pitching matchup on the board. And I still think the Rockies are a good underdog today. And I'll take Rockies plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the New York Mets versus the New York Yankees. Mets opening up as road favorites at -115. The Yankees -105 with the over-under at 8. Mets coming into this matchup 46-53. The Yankees 53-47. Pitching for the Mets is Justin Verlander with an ERA of 3.47. Pitching for the Yankees is Domingo German with an ERA of 4.52. Verlander, his last start, he pitched 8 innings. Gave up 1 run, had 7 strikeouts. German, his last start, he pitched 6 innings. Gave up 5 runs, had 9 strikeouts. The Mets on a 2-game losing streak, coming off back-to-back Boston losses. Yankees on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a nice Royals series. Pretty even pitching matchup, I'd say here. I think Yankees are, getting good value at home, being an underdog, and I'll take Yankees plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the Kansas City Royals versus the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians opening up as home favorites at -200. The Royals plus 170 with the over-under at 8.5. Royals coming into this matchup 29-73. The Guardians 49-51. Pitching for the Royals is Zach Greinke with an ERA of 5.40. Pitching for the Guardians is Aaron Savale with an ERA of 2.71. Greinke, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 1 strikeout. Savale, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 3 strikeouts. The Royals, coming off a Cleveland win yesterday, 5-3, a big underdog win for them. They still are just 2-10 on the road, not a good road team. 3-7 against Cleveland here. Greinke really hasn't been that good on the mound this season for the Royals here. Savale has been pretty solid all season for Cleveland here. I like Cleveland to bounce back today, and I'm going to take the Guardians at home. Next matchup, we've got the Seattle Mariners versus the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota opening up as home favorites at -115. Seattle plus 105 with the over-under at 7.5. Seattle coming into this matchup 50-50. The Twins 54-48. Pitching for the Mariners is George Kirby with an ERA of 3.23. Pitching for the Twins is Pablo Lopez with an ERA of 4.22. Kirby, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 10 strikeouts. Lopez, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Seattle coming off a Minnesota loss yesterday, 4-3 in a close one. Minnesota playing well, 8-2 in their last 10. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Pretty even pitching matchup, I'd say. Kirby coming off a 0-run game in his last start. This one's a tough one here. This one could go either way. It was a 1-run game yesterday. Minnesota's hot right now. I think I'm going to lean with the Twins at home. I like what they're doing. Got a nice win streak built up, and I'm going to roll with Minnesota in this one. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Cubs versus the Chicago White Sox. Cubs opening up as road favorites at -115. The White Sox -105 with the over-under at 9. Cubs coming into this matchup 48-51. The White Sox 41-60. Pitching for the Cubs is Kyle Hendricks with an ERA of 3.52. Pitching for the White Sox is Michael Kopech with an ERA of 4.29. Hendricks, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. Kopech, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. The Cubs on a 3-game winning streak, coming off 3 straight St. Louis wins. White Sox on a 3-game losing streak here. Pretty even pitching matchup. Both pitchers coming off a 1-run game here. I like the Cubs on the road. Playing well right now. They're 5-1 in their last 6 here. White Sox They're struggling 1-5 in their last 6 here. And yeah, I think I'm going to lean with Chicago on the road. Next matchup, we've got the Cincinnati Reds versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers opening up as home favorites at -150. The Reds +135 with the over-under at 8. Reds coming into this matchup 55-47. The Brewers 56-45. Pitching for the Reds is Andrew Abbott with an ERA of 2.10. Pitching for the Brewers is Corbin Burns with an ERA of 3.49. Abbott, his last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Burns, his last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 10 strikeouts. The Reds, coming off a Brewers loss yesterday, just 3-2. The Reds, 15-4 on the road. They're a very, very good road team here. For some reason, they've just struggled against the Brewers here. They've lost their last 3 against the Brewers. Abbott's been very good on the mound. Corbin Burns, both pitchers coming off 0-run games here. I still like the Reds. I still think they're a good underdog today on the road. I mean, they got the cover yesterday. All they need is to, get the win. I'm still going to take the Reds +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the San Diego Padres. Padres opening up as home favorites at -280. Pirates +230 with the over-under at 8. Pirates coming into this matchup 44-56. The Padres 48-53. Pitching for the Pirates is Rich Hill with an ERA of 4.92. Pitching for the Padres is Blake Snell with an ERA of 2.67. Hill, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 1 strikeout. Snell, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 4 strikeouts. Snell's been very good on the mound here for the Padres. Pirates beating the Padres yesterday 8-4. That was a big win for the Pirates. And I do like Blake Snell on the mound. He's only given up 1 run in his last 3 starts here. Hill's definitely given up a good bit of runs in most of his starts. I like the Padres at home to bounce back, especially with Blake Snell on the mound. Going to be tough to give up a lot of runs like yesterday, and I'll take the Padres at home. Next matchup, we got the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona opening up as home favorites at -125. St. Louis +105 with the over-under at 9. Cardinals coming into this matchup 45-56. Arizona 54-47. Pitching for the Cardinals is Steven Matz with an ERA of 4.67. Pitching for Arizona is Merrill Kelly with an ERA of 3.41. Matz, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 6 strikeouts. Kelly, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 2 strikeouts. St. Louis coming off an Arizona win yesterday, 10-6, a nice underdog win for the Cardinals. They're 7-1 on the road against Arizona. They've been very good against Arizona here. Pretty even pitching matchup, I'd say. And I think Cardinals are a good underdog, and I'll take St. Louis +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Oakland Athletics versus the San Francisco Giants. Giants opening up as home favorites at -260. Oakland +210 with the over-under at 8.5. Oakland coming into this matchup 28-74. The Giants 54-47. Pitching for Oakland is Ken Waldichuk with an ERA of 6.75. Pitching for the Giants is Alex Cobb with an ERA of 3.15. Waldichuk, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Cobb, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 0 strikeouts. Oakland, coming off a Houston loss. Giants, yeah, they're on a horrible losing streak, losing bad losses to Detroit, a 3-game sweep against Washington. They just are not playing well. They've been big favorites in some games, and they just have not played well here. Yeah, I just don't think I trust the Giants right now with this stretch on. They're just too expensive. The way they've been playing, they have not been playing well. I'll take Oakland plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers opening up as home favorites at minus 150. Toronto plus 135 with the over-under at 9. Toronto coming into this matchup 56-45. The Dodgers 57-42. Pitching for Toronto is Chris Bassett with an ERA of 3.92. Pitching for the Dodgers is Julio Urias with an ERA of 5.02. Bassett, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Urias, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 8 runs, had 2 strikeouts. Toronto on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a Dodgers win yesterday. They are bad against the Dodgers, just 1-5 against the Dodgers here. They've struggled on the road against the Dodgers. Urias coming off an 8-run game here. Bassett been pretty good on the mound as of late. I think Toronto's a good underdog here. Got a nice win yesterday, and I'll take Toronto plus 1.5 on the road. All right, next matchup, we got the Atlanta Braves versus the Boston Red Sox. These last 2 games, there are no lines for right now, so they are later games today. So I'm sure they'll be released right after I'm done posting. And there's some pitching info that is missing as well, so it's TBD. But we have pitching for the Braves is Charlie Morton with an ERA of 3.36. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Braves coming off a Brewers win. Boston coming off back-to-back Mets wins. Atlanta is 7-1 on the road against Boston, 4-1 straight up against Boston here. Yeah, I feel like Braves are probably going to be road favorites when the line comes out, and I do like the Braves. They've been very good against Boston here. I do like Charlie Morton on the mound, and yeah, I'm going to roll with the Braves on the road in this one. Then the next matchup and last matchup, we got the Texas Rangers versus the Houston Astros. No opening line on this game here. The only info I have on this game is that pitching for the Astros is JP France with an ERA of 3.13. The Rangers losing to Houston yesterday, 10-9. High scoring game right there. Houston playing well right now. Rangers 5-15 on the road against Houston. 1-4 straight up against Houston here. Yeah, I think Houston's probably going to be home favorites here. We'll see who ends up pitching for the Rangers. But yeah, Rangers have just struggled against the Astros, and I think I'm going to roll with the Astros at home. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Tuesday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Wednesday. Have a good one.